This is the Yeezy Boost 350 V2 MX Dark Salt, and it could be the last 350 V2 to ever release. So obviously Adidas is going through sort of a clearance program right now, selling off all of their remaining Yeezy stock and not producing any other pairs of Yeezy sneakers. And because of that, we're getting hundreds of thousands of pairs of Yeezys all dropped on us in August 2023. And from what I can tell, this could be the last set of Adidas Yeezys to ever drop. And this being probably the last 350 to drop in the month of August means that this literally could be the last 350 ever. But I guess we don't really know. Until they say that they're completely sold out of everything, we can only guess. Now, as far as pricing, the MX Dark Salts are set at $230, which yes, is higher than some of the older 350 V2s, unfortunately. And if you want to grab a pair of these, they are going to be available on the Confirmed app or online at takeoutny.com, which is one of my favorite places to go for grabbing any pairs of sneakers. You guys should definitely check them out, link at the top of the description below. But I think it's fair to say with the Adidas Yeezy MX Dark Salts, Adidas and Yeezy are set to go out on a bang because this shoe is one of the wildest pairs of 350 V2s ever. Sure, it's made up of almost entirely black and gray, but at the same time, have you seen the pattern on this shoe? It's insane. I actually just dropped my review on the Granite 350s, and out of these two shoes, I absolutely prefer this shoe. I just think it's cleaner and easier to wear, but this is still not a bad look, and if you like this sort of MX pattern on the upper of the shoe, you're probably gonna love it. But speaking of this pattern, let's dive right into the upper. So a majority of the upper of this shoe is made up of some variation of prime knit. Obviously, it's a different knit pattern than we've seen on other pairs of 350 V2s, and of course, like some of the newer models of 350 V2s, you've got this semi-translucent plastic stripe running down the lateral side. Actually, in this case, it's not semi-translucent, it is a mesh, so you could, in theory, see light through it, but because the mesh is dyed completely black, it's almost impossible to see anything through it, like your brand new pair of Apothecary no-show socks. That was a subtle plug, but we're dropping no-show socks for the first time ever this weekend. If you guys want to check them out, link in the top of the description below, and they sit just below the Yeezy ankle collar line, which means that they're perfect to go with a pair of Yeezys. Grab a pair of these, grab a pair of those, perfect match. Not only is the side stripe a lot more difficult to see through because it's black, it's also a lot more apparent on the side of the shoe because it's this giant black, almost Sharpie line across the side of the sneaker. And personally, I don't love it because it's such a dominant detail, and on top of an already pretty crazy pattern, it just creates a lot of visual confusion in my own opinion. Obviously, you could think different. It doesn't matter if you think different, that's fine, it's your opinion. But I don't really love it. I kind of wish they had gone for a more subtle stripe, like maybe a gray, or maybe even just not had the stripe and just gone with the crazy pattern around the entire upper of the shoe. I think that would have been a lot cleaner. But getting into the crazy pattern that I just referenced, it's made up of like 3 different shades of gray. You've got a very dark gray at the base, you've got sort of a medium gray in the middle, and then you've got a light gray sort of rounding off the accent. And as the name of the shoe would suggest, this pattern is the mixed pattern, the MX pattern, at least that's what we assume that it means. And it kind of looks like they marbled the prime knit pattern on the upper of the shoe, which I'm not gonna lie, is really interesting, it's different, but again, I think if they had just gone with purely the prime knit on the top of the shoe instead of adding this black stripe, it would have been a little bit more wearable. Like for example, when you look at the medial side of the shoe, I think this looks great. It's super interesting, it's wild, but it's not too wild, and I think if this had been the design on both sides of the shoe, I would have preferred it. But again, that's all my own personal opinion. You guys don't have to listen to me, but I guess you're watching this video, so maybe you do care about my opinion a little bit. And this MX pattern is also pretty interesting because it's the newest prime knit pattern on a pair of 350 V2s. In fact, for a while there, it looked like we were gonna get primarily just MX prime knit on all of the new 350 V2s, but unfortunately, because of the way that things split between Adidas and Kanye, it looks like this might be the last ever MX, and we only got like, I think, 2 or 3 colorways. Because there's so much layering going on in the knit of this shoe because of the design, it is a little bit stiffer than standard 350 V2s, especially when you compare it to the Granite pair, which is just a very simple, solid color knit. So I guess in theory it is a little bit less comfortable than the Granites, however you don't really feel it on foot, so it's not that big of a deal. Even with all this crazy stitching going on in the upper of the shoe, it's still very comfortable. It still feels like a sock on top of your foot. Obviously these are not as soft as something like a pair of Ultra Boost, but still a very comfortable upper. Running down the center of the shoe, you've got the seam that shows where the 2 pieces of material came together to make this pair of sneakers. However, unlike older pairs of 350 V2s, they actually hid the stitching detail underneath the upper of the shoe. It's actually how it's supposed to be done, but they flipped it inside out for all of the other pairs of 350 V2s, and it seems like for these newer pairs, and I guess some of the older pairs as well, they decided to go for a much simpler line or seam down the middle. I guess it's because the upper of the shoe is already pretty crazy. That could also not be the case. I don't know why they decided to do it this way on this shoe, but they did, and I don't really care either way. Over top of the seam and weaving through the upper of the shoe, you've got this dark gray infinity lace, which means it has no ends. You don't tie it, it's already kind of laced together. I think this is the closest that they ever got to a slip-on pair of 350 V2s. If you do want to tighten the shoe, you can pull on this little like tab right here, and that will tighten up the upper a little bit for you. but I would just suggest grabbing the right size and you should be good to go. Actually, speaking of sizing, the MX Dark Salt colorway of the 350 V2s fits like most other pairs of 350 V2s. Now, I personally like to go true to size because I like a more snug fit. However, Adidas actually recommends going up a half size on their website, so if you've never tried a pair of 350 V2s before, I would suggest going up a half size. If you already own a couple pairs of 350 V2s, grab the size that you usually grab and you should be just fine. Around the top of the ankle opening, you've got this dark gray piping, and then moving inside the shoe on the sock liner of the sneaker, you've got that reflective Adidas 3 stripes hit on the back of the heel. Rounding off the inside of the shoe, you've got a dark gray matching insole with the Adidas and YEEZY branding printed on the heel in black. And then moving around to the heel of the shoe, you've got this black pull tab, which actually seems like an extension of this black stripe along the side of the shoe because it's the exact same shade of black. I don't know if I like the pull tabs. For a while, I didn't like the fact that Yeezys didn't have them, and then I kind of prefer the Yeezys that don't have them. The granites don't have them, and I actually think it makes the shoe look a little bit cleaner, but I also like having it because it adds a bit of detail to the back of the shoe. I don't know. I'm undecided on the pull tabs, but this one has it, this one doesn't. There you go. Moving down on the shoe, you get to that classic Yeezy Boost 350 V2 midsole. It comes in sort of a dark smoke, or I guess dark salt gray? What even is dark salt? Is there a dark, I might be stupid. Oh, there actually is a legit dark salt that's like a very similar color to this. Wow, the naming was on point. That's crazy. Then moving to the bottom of the sneaker, you've got a similar colored rubber on the outsole, and of course your cutouts through to the Boost. I don't love this colorway. It's not a pair of 350s I'd throw on a regular basis. It's not a bad shoe, it's still very comfortable, and I'm sure there's a lot of you out there who love this sneaker, but for me, it's probably a no-go. That being said, I do still think that this sneaker will probably sell out, and while it probably won't resell, it'll be a pair that's definitely gonna be popular, and there's probably hundreds of thousands of pairs of these, so I'm sure you guys will see these around. But let me know your thoughts on the MX Dark Salts in the comment section down below. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't yet, and I'll see you all in the next one.